So yeah, I'm back from recovering from a sore throat, which sucks because there's so much I wanted to talk about from the Fog trailer to Akira Toriyama, and now this, which I've been supposed to do, but sore throat, man, I just couldn't do it. Gotta wait until today to do something. But either way, it's just been a struggle. and and with this episode, I have mixed feelings about it. I don't know where my feelings are on this episode. It feels like it wanted me to laugh. It wanted me to feel sympathetic. It wanted me to be hyped. Either way, my emotions were all over the place with it. From the shocking revelation from who is working with Wizen. How Wizen is pretty much a dude who's doing all this crazy stuff just because he wants the person he loves to become human, which is the exact opposite of what Jinka wants, which is ironic. Wizen's partner, the one he fell in love with, is Tama's mother. And the way they fell in love, sometimes things can be very simple sometimes, You could just be doing your life, doing the straight and narrow, He was from a son of a merchant, became a monk, was on a mission to take down Tama's mother, but he saw her, she saw him, they immediately fell in love, and all he had to do was slaughter his entire group in order to be with her. and he got with her. So what was his ambition? Love. His entire ambition is love. He wants to turn Tama's mother into a human, while Tama and Jinka, mainly Jinka, wants to be a Katawara. Ironic how their goals are exact opposite of each other. That's the main way you usually do a protagonist and antagonist story, where the protagonist and antagonist are complete opposite from each other, from ideals, from appearances, from even powers. It's always different. And sometimes you do them when they're very similar. But I like it when it's opposite in a way. You want to see whose ideals will outmatch the other. Very interesting way of doing things. Well, anyways, they went to a quick, a weird, slow down time training arc where while she's distracting the intruders from getting towards the mountain, she wants to train them to become just strong enough. Didn't say to beat the dragon, but just strong enough to challenge their fate. Two different things, so keep that in mind. And what she wants in return is to take down another mountain deity that's been taking control over as a house. Yes, that thing we saw some episodes back is actually a mountain deity that's been transformed into a giant ass house, and it fights. It's a fighting mecha house, which is pretty cool. So Wisen's been using these experiments on Katawara's deities in humans to see if he can change a human to a Katawara and a deity into an object. What can he do to make a Katawara become human? At least to have longevity of a human, where he can grow old and die with the one he loves. Usually it's always the other way around, where it's what you thought that would be the point, or you thought Wizen would want to be with Tama's mother, but he can become a Katawara. It seems like he could easily, if he wants to become a Katawara with his experiments that he's doing. Plus, he knows how to use what Jinka and Tama do with the spiritual transformation. Phoenix Killer. You thought that he would do something like that. There must be a catch. Either way, it's very intriguing. Now, as for the training parts, each one has their own way of doing their own training. Seems like Jinka is more confronting his past and knowing what it is to be happy, in a way. He's like, okay, are you happy or are you unhappy? And in fate, you choose to decide whether you're happy or not. I'm on the fence about that one, to be honest with you. Sometimes you're put in a terrible situation where it's really hard to be happy sometimes, and things just suck. You can't be happy when you're going through constant terrible situations that you have no control over. So I'm kind of on the fence on that one. But we can understand with Jinka in his fairy eyes of how he was abandoned. He actually came from an okay family. But the problem is that they had twins. And they both had fairy eyes. And apparently, this is a thing where when both people have fairy eyes, they attract very evil Katawara. So they had to give up one or the other. Jinka was just chosen not because of some hatred or malice. It was just they just had to choose one of them, and he just had to be the one. But they could have sent him off to somewhere better, though. I'm just saying. She says don't resent them for it because he was seeing them being happy, and while he's surviving, seeing friends dying, he does have some happiness now. But I'm going back to it. These parents could work out a deal. They didn't seem like they were that bad off. Seemed like they were well off. In fact, they could have sent him somewhere better, not just and paid for someone to take care of him. But instead, no, let's just throw him. Well, yeah, they gave him to his master, but you could have sent him somewhere better, man. Come on. He could live a normal life. If his brother could live a happy life, he could live a happy life with someone else, man. I see no excuse in that. I'm sorry, man. That's BS. His parents could have done something good for him. So he's training while he's fighting against the Mountain God's apprentice, who's head over heels for this guy. My goodness. For a human, she's pretty strong. In other ways, Tama's doing her freaking ninja training with water. There's more to it, but yeah, I'm just saying the ninja training reminds me of that Naruto art where Naruto first learns to walk on water, where he can walk on like any surface he wants to, which is pretty cool. One of the powers I wouldn't mind having, a lot easier than just having those abilities to cross walls like Spider-Man. Less sticky, that's what I'm saying. Now with Shinsuke's is him learning that his true power. And you realize Shinsuke is always trying to become powerful by the usual way of learning the sword and being brute force with the sword. But if you see throughout the show, his true strength is not through the sword or brute strength. He was able to touch the hearts of other people by showing his kindness or thinking things through. So I don't think Shinsuke's true power is through brute strength or through the sword. He may know how to use the sword, but not the way he plans to do it. The entire time he has to get through the mountain. And so he's trying to slice this boulder, slicing the boulder, but it's not working. But then he realized that the sword does have the ability to control wind. So he used the wind power of the sword to go over the boulder. This is an example of his true power. His true power is not within his strength of muscle or physical, but with his will and probably his spirituality. If he can touch others, and I mean in a spiritual way to help them out. So believe it or not, he is the fast one to actually pass his tests. That's very impressive. And somehow he ends up right where Sanya is, the dragon dude's son. Yeah, great place of having someone land. Whatever. I think that was done on purpose. I'm sorry. I don't trust this mountain god. She seems way too shady. But either way, that's pretty much where the episode ends. Ugh, man. And like I said, mixed feelings. Like there's things I liked about this episode. It's just that the mood of the episode was just all over the place. So I didn't know how to feel about it. You see, most episodes you'll have this one mood about it. It can be funny and get you hyped, and something bad could happen at the end, or something bad happens at the beginning, and then it hypes you up towards the end. Either way, there's always this nice, easy flow where it goes like this, or it goes like this. But this one was just all over the place, I couldn't keep up. But anyways, it was still an interesting episode. Things are moving along either way. But like I said, this one needed a better flow. This is all I'm saying. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, of course, hit that bell icon. Just have the background, all man-made. Signing out.